So we're starting off with the Sky Temple, picked by TheOne here. Now this is a good map for them. They like their global heroes. Hugo is pretty reasonable on that Dahaka, and if not, potential for an Illidan. This is where it first came to us, where we first saw it and we're like, wow! So we'll have to see if they can do that again.
Let's see if Hugo's like, you know what, Bruiser, from the A-team, you're not the only one who gets all the glory. This is personal now. I'm going to try to restore some of my own honor that I had earlier with that Illidan. And I'm pretty sure that he still plays it off stream or off broadcast, I would say. I'm pretty sure he's still a mighty fine Illidan, right? So if Hugo and TheOne desire to, we'll probably still make it work. For now, though, we're going to take a look at those bans coming out here. Maiev. Nope, not gonna hit her first. Sally Whitemane, see you later. And Diablo also being put back into his Soulstone.
That he is. So far DSL has played four games and 4 heroes. Let's see if we expand his hero pool a little more here. So far he's lost on Hammer and Junkrat and 1 on Cassia and Reyna.
That is correct. Decker Kane, you can't go wrong with the old man here. Yeah, now let's see if we're gonna see an Alex Strasser or a Malfurion as a response immediately.
Nope, neither. Hanzo gets taken away here. Very strong hero for all the players involved, especially for dancing. Sorry, for Muggle.
Yep. Muggle, of course. Unfortunately, still not with the team, right? Is this young gentleman in the bottom here, Keshi?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I still I still have that thought process as well, right? I'm always thinking about Muggle because he impressed us so much in the last phase. But for whatever reason, he's still part of the roster, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
So I assume he is off doing something. So give us until next week. We'll work it out. We'll have it sorted. So in comes the Reyna. That is quite likely to end up being the going to end up being the DSL pick. But there's potential for other players to play it as well.
Yeah, there could. You know, there's a couple of players in the ranks of RPG that could help out here, of course.
Yeah. So what are we seeing from TheOne? There's the Junkrat ban. That would have been another hero they could have fit in. They like that combo as well.
Ooh, yeah. Sergeant Hammer now immediately banned out, though. I mean, we saw in those previous games as well how much of a counter the Sergeant Hammer was. The Junkrat was to the Sergeant Hammer. So maybe with an early Junkrat ban, they wanted to go for the Siege Tank, and RPG's like, no, we don't really want to face it this time.
So they still need a hero for Pardu RPG, whereas TheOne, they still need a Hugo hero, need that solo laner. There's the Blaze. He's been leaning on this heavily this season as he's finally got used to it. And they bring out the Phoenix as well. They've got some lovely slows to set up for, holding their support till last.
Yeah, support, of course, is that one last role that they need to pick. And I really like this drafting pattern, saving the support for last, because now they can basically choose a healing style that will definitely fit against what RPG is going to feel, right? Up to this point, it's pretty much slow damage, sustaining damage, so it could be a Malfurion, for example. Falstad for the first time being revealed here on Sky Temple, so a double global potentially with that ETC stage dive in the mix.
Yeah, bringing out the ETC. I'm quite excited for that. It is currently one of C's most played heroes, 24 career games on it with a 54% win rate. So very cool to see him bring that out. It's over double his Muradin win rate, which has 4 more games. So very nice to see him adjust and bringing out the cow.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, like, Malfurion shouldn't have any difficulties healing the damage coming in from Falstad or Raynor, unless Falstad decides to go for the Hinterlands Blast, which I still don't see here. Are you seeing it?
I am maybe. I'm looking at this and I'm like,
Mosh Pit?
If you can time it with the bunker, with the Mosh Pit, there's potential. Whereas Gust is a disengage tool. And they have reasonable disengage as is with Deckard Kane slows, with ETC knockback, with Raynor knockback. Their disengage is not terrible as it is. Extra damage though, that might be what they need.
Yeah, you might be up to something. I mean, what do you also give up if you don't go for the Mighty Gust? First of all, as you said, like, perfectly fine. Disengage is it's one of the strongest disengage abilities in the game still. But you also give up, as a result, a little bit of boss control. So if you're ever being put onto the test here when it comes to, securing a boss or deflecting it from the enemy team, then you're definitely going to miss that Gust. However, the upside of this Hinterland Blast, as we said, it counters the Malfurion healing style, right? All about that burst. Malfurion himself doesn't even have the Ice Block anymore, so he could turn out to be that prime target.
He could be. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to do that, though. Without that ice block, he's going to have to play around this very effectively, as it looks like we're heading in to game number 1 of our 5th series of the day out of 6. Very standard-looking draft from the one. A little bit out there. The return of Falstad for RPG. Which one's going to come out on top? On the left-hand side, it will be the one. And playing for them, it is going to be Hugo, Kyeshi, Meng, ZJZ, and Huhu.
And facing them is none other than the newly invigorated RPG with MJ, Free Show, C, Pa, and DSL, formerly known as Jianzhao. So if you're a familiar viewer with the older days of China, with him still playing for SPT, then you're definitely going to rejoice into seeing him again. For now, though, we see a standard Falstad build, fully relying on auto attacks and sustained damage with that Seasoned Marksman. Definitely agree with that choice. I think you can't go wrong with the auto attacks, whereas sometimes if you go Boomerang and full Boom stat, then if you miss that Hammerang, you're probably going to have to wait until you can deliver damage again.
Meng's done the mount trick. He's currently just a cloud. I need to learn to do that. I need to learn spell points.
Repair analysis.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, someone can. I'm sure someone on Reddit is going to know. As we immediately see the quick cleanup of the camp, gaining stacks for Pa. Being in the very aggressive rotation denial position, as Reyna has already cleaned out and pushed up the bottom lane, and that's even without the Exterminator. He just did it as fast as possible, and I think a minion or two might have actually already died on tower.
Yeah, that's the first thing I was on the lookout for as well when you mentioned the fast rotation speed of Reyna, right? Because with Exterminator, additional damage against PvE targets, that is pretty easy to do, but with Ace in the Hole, still pretty impressive. I mean, the key for some of those ranged assassins or assassins in general that have damaging abilities that affects people in a line, it's basically to hit those minions while they're still on the move, right? While they're
nice.
Okay.
That was perfectly timed. Right on it, but the counter kill by Huhu. And the game starts off to a bang, but that power slide was on point.
Beautiful counter kill against ETC. I'm loving it. Hey!
Well done.
But yeah, beautiful interrupt there on that teleport against Phoenix. Super well done. But yeah, back to the point I was trying to make before that action happened. You need to hit those minions in a conga line, right? When they're all in a single file line, that's where you usually get the most value from, let's say, the penetration rounds of Reyna. So yeah, timing is sometimes of the essence when it comes to clearing and dealing with minion waves.
Rotates. Says hello to Falstad, who is just soaking. No rush for the moment from Pa. It's DSL. Also just burning through everything. We're going to see the Behemoth armor, or just the extra protection coming in here. Which is the reaction? There's already a lot of CC, so I wouldn't mind Behemoth armor. Yeah. So he might actually struggle to activate the avatar, which is name I'm forgetting. I'm blanking on. Fight or Flight, that's the one. So he might struggle to activate it, so Behemoth armor might be value. We will see what he goes for, though.
Takes a little bit of time, but, you know, sometimes you just... Oh
my god. That was next level. That wasn't even Wingman. He just predicted they were delaying it.
I mean, I've never seen anything like it. The guts it takes to actually fly in there. I'm going to show you Tetcha's reaction right now because it's beautiful.
So shocked, dude. I didn't... What? When did he start C's escaping? Root lad, can they kill off C as a little bit of revenge move? No, he gets out.
I mean, Tetra, that's where replay analysis of your opponents really starts to kick in, right? Because if the one, they always do that, and a lot of teams do it, actually, then you just drop the balls, right? You just fly right in there. And let's face it, if Falstad had actually flown into a full mercenary camp, he probably could have escaped. But if he had flown in there while the enemy team was also doing it, he probably would have died. But they had enough vision on the enemies for knowing, okay, they're not all fully committing to it, so let's just go YOLO and let's just go for it.
I've never seen anything like that. That is amazing. As they are getting the value from it, they're getting top, and with the extra push from double mercenary camp in top lane, top 4
will die here. I'm loving it. And the middle fort, it looks like, is going to survive for RPG, so they prevent the XP going over to the one. Just like C is preventing his own death to give that experience to the one. So, you know, with a small but considerable lead, RPG is starting to stabilize here. They need to send someone to the bottom, though. Otherwise, they're probably going to miss an entire wave here. Yeah, it looks like they're going to miss on that one. So, that one is a little sad. Sa is even using the barrel roll to get there as fast as possible. Sorry, Pa, not Sa.
C will rotate down. Yeah, Sa is gone. We had C, Sa, and Pa. Maximum possible confusion if they were on the same team, but luckily not. As Meng holds position, he's just soaking XP for the moment, about revealing himself. Finally will move up, not seeing Falstad. Wants to see if he can scupper a couple minions against the wall. Same with Herho here. Holding Free Show, just wants to make sure that he can soak experience or punish Free Show if he overextends.
ETC hasn't been spotted. I'm not sure if that scatter error actually revealed him.
Don't think so.
Yeah. No, that Moonfire definitely did, though.
Moonfire gets revealed there. Incinerator Gauntlets for Blaze, going to help him with the rotations. CJ said actually does get rooted. The bot lane getting pushed up aggressively by RPG, cleaning out that mercenary camp with the greatest of ease.
Yeah. So Raynor in the meantime is sieging up a little bit here. By the same token, though, the enemy team, TheOne, they're mirroring the efforts of RPG, setting up in the top lane. Here comes Urel, though. Are they going to interrupt it? Yes, they will. Perfect timing by Free Show. They also intercept the jet propulsion by Hugo, but they won't be able to take down Blaze as well. But man, Phoenix up to this point, he's not having a good time with those late teleports.
Not yet, no. Good dodge by DSL, preventing Herho from landing the Stormbolt. Drops a little bit of damage, dodges the Scatter Arrow. DSL, good start for him as he is in control. Bot Temple spawning in 10 seconds. C needs to be careful. He is ETC, he is squishy. The Herho not landing another Stormbolt here.
Yeah, so the only way, I just want to highlight this mini play once again by Urel. The only way she can successfully do that in a couple of milliseconds to prevent that teleport from happening on Phoenix is if she charges up her hammer by using her trait and then immediately casting it. So she needs to use 2 consecutive abilities immediately at the perfect time to interrupt the channel animation of the Phoenix. So super well done, immaculate timing. Speaking of timing though, unfortunately DSL a little too far forward. He probably thought himself safe within those minions and mercenaries. Yeah. Not this time around.
Stage dive not ideal there. The Lornado zoning out anyone, so they weren't able to land anything. Stormbolt onto C. It's a very greedy boss. Free Show begins to move on. There is Gust available. Bunker available. Free Show moving on. C getting trolled by the tornado here. Can they move on? C moves on the point. Bunker dropped early, and C secure. Oh, Phoenix teleports on, but they secure the boss. Now, can they get out? Boss stun comes out. Everyone dodges it. And RPG, why would you do a boss against a Gust Urel ETC? Lornado was just about to come off cooldown as well. And what do you have for it? Bunker and teleport. Genius. I am tilted as all hell with that TheOne move.
I mean, pick your poison, right? You look at RPG's team, you're like, Lornado, ETC knockback, then you have the Mighty Gust. So it doesn't even matter if Raynor's in the fight or not. You're going to get that boss stolen against you. So with RPG now pushing in, they're probably going to get some significant damage done onto that bottom fort. Are they even going to be able to keep ETC alive here? Looks like yes. Ardent Defender in the case of an emergency, still for Free Show. And look at Falstad doing his nasty work in the top with the help of the minions. He's getting 1, 2 towers, maybe even the gate as well there.
Oh man, RPG are just absolutely playing out of their minds right now. Falstad gaining value top lane, they stole the boss. Unfortunately, RPG, they aren't able to gain the... now they are, they can start to interrupt. Stage dive onto ZJZ, there's the root, but Meg, can they interrupt his teleport? He's delaying it as long as he can. I think he knows he's dead, he's just going to sacrifice himself.
He's going to sacrifice himself for the greater good. ETC couldn't make it out alive in time, so it was an assassin for the main tank. Here is Pado. He does have the Mighty Gust. Needs to use it immediately, otherwise Raynor probably would have said goodbye as well. So it is now a clean 4 versus 4, with TheOne probably coming out on top here because of healthier health bars. As he just
Dragon Arrow.
Yeah.
Dragon Arrow did miss. It was used in that fight as well. They might have been able to get more, but weren't able to do so. Phoenix comes back. ETC shortly after. ETC 30 seconds until he can use the stage dive. And as such, the shots are taken by TheOne, the final couple anyway. But this bot fort does survive.
does survive. And if you look at the minimap, RPG still has a couple more structures available compared to the one as well. They are at the brink of destroying the blue fort on the bottom as well, so they're still in a pretty comfortable position despite losing ETC there earlier. And this is basically a head-to-head game. Like, none of the teams was able to pull ahead, although on paper you would definitely consider the one to be the bigger favorite.
Yeah. But in terms of on the map right now, bot fort significantly lower for the one, top fort non-existent for the one. RPG a little bit more in control as Muradin dives deep, trying to use the advantage that he has minions right now. Dragon Arrow used, everything flowed onto DSL here, and he will die. But can RPG gain something else out of this? Here's the bunker, there's no more minions. Can they focus someone down? ETC with the power slide onto Hertha as they try to blast him down, but ETC is the one who gets punished as the gust has to be used. Jarrell turns onto Hugo as they try to take him out, but he tanks through it as Hertha turns back round onto ETC with minions arriving. Face belt used and C backs up.
Tetra strong 5 versus 4 here actually against the one. They took down Raynor so quickly. It was essentially a 4 versus 4, right? Sorry, a 5 versus... no, still a 4 versus 4 because Meng was top. So that was an impressive display of knowing when to go in and then also knowing how to capitalize on that victory, right? They did get a structure. They steal another mercenary camp, so it's now 4 giants in the bottom against RPG. And RPG, although DSL tried the best he could to actually dodge all that, the Falstad was not there in time to either punish that engage by gusting them into the fort or to save Raynor by gusting them away. So just a question of seconds here, milliseconds, but once again, well played by the one.
The one beginning to pull themselves back into it. They've actually got a lead in XP for the first time in this game, but RPG are far from out. All heroics about to be back except for Hyperion, which is still 20 seconds out. That's a very long time as Temple spawns in 1.
All right, this game is getting closer and closer by the minute. RPG, they're starting to take a couple of hits when in the early game they were almost indomitable. Urael can't use it. He's gone.
Man, the CC being dropped there. C now in serious danger. Drops the face belt, slowed by the oil. Tanking through it. He went for that echo pedal, actually, getting that extra knockback with the face belt so that he has extra chances to escape. But that was a great stun lock onto Urael.
That it was. I mean, if Urael can't get the Ardent Defender off, she's actually a pretty easy target to kill, right? If you keep her CC'd, if you keep her stunned in silence, you're going to be in an amazing position. C even used his global there, his stage dive, to actually reinforce his teammates. So a couple of those shots weren't even taken by RPG. They need to be on their tippy toes because the one is currently all over the map.
Yeah, and ETC even backs up. He knows that the man advantage is in favor of the one. Both Falstad and ETC use their globals, so they're going to back up. They know they can't assist each other. And they're just going to have to take the shots as the one take control of this game.
That they do. Look at the double temple value. I mean, they're not going to immediately lose a keep off this, right? Because the tower lines were still fully intact. But as you said, it's slowly but surely drifting away for RPG. They just... Oh, this is Urael once again getting chain stunned.
Live this time. He even holds the Ardent Defender. Very patient. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure other players would have definitely used it as a panic reaction after she had just died in a similar situation. Now 16 is here. Raynor going for that paint them red. So more self-sustain for the Raynor just in case that Muradin ends up catching him again.
Pre-show is revealed. Leaps back. Quick knockback onto Hertha. Stormbot doesn't even come out. Plays patiently. ETC has stage dive. He's in top lane, pushing up at the moment.
Yeah, so now there's actually a couple of interesting 16 talents available, Tetra, for RPG, right? There's the Scroll of the Stone Curse, additional terrible damage coming in from Decker Kane if he lands it on 2 or more people. Then we have Raynor with the superior self-sustain now. So I wonder if those fights are actually going to go in favor of the one the way they did before, right? So let's...
We'll have to see. Pre-show tries to zone out Hilher, but Hilher not letting it happen. Blaze has finally taken up top lane to de-push the damage that ETC already did. Siege Giant Camp available for RPG. They're grabbing that very quickly. There's not going to be anything the one can do about that other than rotate down and clear that up later. But this Bruiser Cap is available, and the one are going to attempt to steal it. Urael doesn't know, so as such they're going to be too late for this, and the one will just take this one away.
None of their frontliners here to actually contest this, so RPG are making a patient play. They're saying, you know what, we can dispose of those mercenaries pretty handsomely. No need for us to actually go all in into a mere mercenary camp. So pretty good, but look at the rotations, man. They see, you know what? At least two people are dealing with this mercenary camp. We're going to apply some pressure on the bottom. We're maybe even trying to catch someone here. C, of course, knows exactly that Huhu is nearby. So the question is, Tetra, should RPG initiate a boss fight with all those superior tools they have at hand?
It's risky because ETC is not as tanky as Muradin, so he would be the one to have to absorb the hits. This is the issue that C has been having. ETC is not the tankiest of heroes in general, and he joins the fights late, so he's actually missing out on Urel armor repeatedly. So it's very much a trade-off. They could in theory do the boss. They have the better boss control tools, like you said, but they might lose everyone.
If they had a warrior like Johanna, this would have, of course, been a totally different question, right? Johanna would have been great to actually contest that. So, yeah, I think time is running against RPG right now. I'm not sure what they're trying to achieve here with those global rotations by ETC and Falstead, because that bottom keep is eventually going to fall.
Undefender is burnt. They don't get anything out of this. Bot keep is going down, like you said. This is unfortunate. RPG, they're playing very passively. We're not sure what their attempt is here. They're soaking. They're even on talents. They're now one level behind. That's still miles away. As half a level is all that the one need to hit level 20 now. And then what are RPG going to do?
Yeah, level 20 is so close now because they just lost that keep without a fight. I mean, patience is good, especially in China, where teams are sometimes just getting reckless all the time, 24/7. But in a situation like this, where you need to save a keep potentially, not using any of her globals, that is reckless to say the least here.
Double push in top lane, cleared up very quickly by Hugo, making the most of those Incinerator Gauntlets to clear the lane very quickly. Camp being started by the one, and the fact is, normally against a normal team, you could maybe do a boss while this is happening. The problem is, you're against a Hanzo, so that camp's already gone. So instead, they're going to try and steal a Siege Giant camp, but even that might be too slow.
The one they know, they're going in here. They have vision from the Hanzo, and this is the all-in engagement they were looking for.
Gust is decent as they begin to pull back. Armor applied by Urel. She pulls back. Auto Defender not available here as Pre-Show will drop again.
Not worth it, Tetcher. Trading this mercenary camp for Urel is not worth it. Here goes ETC with a re-initiate. Bird is low.
The isolation. Sorry, the Twilight Dream comes out here. Barrel roll by Par is getting out of there, but Z will drop. No, he lives the salvo, but not so lucky for Raider, who goes down. C getting chased, as is Par. Can they escape? And Furion is the one chasing them down. Muradin Stormbolt onto Par, and it's only C remaining. He can't tank this. He moves to mid. Great scatter arrow, and that's going to be the one taking game number 1.
Bullseye for Hanzo. That was a perfect scattering error to make it a full 5-man team wipe, and RPG, they looked good for so long, but in the end they were just outsmarted and outplayed by the rotations of the one. Superior team fighting all across the board, and with great pleasure they're going to take away, or they're going to walk away with that first victory. And I think, Tetra, a lot of it came down to the ETC not being tanky enough to make those fights happen, and also the double global kind of outplaying themselves, right? They all sometimes had those two heroes on completely different ends of the map. And if they decided to just reinforce the team fight, it was either too late or didn't make any difference anymore.